Hello there, high school hockey fans. It's time for another edition of This Week in Wisconsin Prep Hockey. I'm Mike Hammett bringing you tonight's show. We will have Bill Berg and, well, just both Bill Bergs. How about that? We'll have them on tonight. And we'll get to many things. I know we got players of the week. We got the top six and other things to talk about. But right now, we're going to start out with our games of the week. Dell isn't with us tonight. Dell's got some other stuff going on, wasn't able to make it. So we can probably hear from him next week about the Icebergs and the Cougars game. But Burglar, you had a chance to go see Notre Dame and Bayport, and my, oh my, this was quite the game.
It was indeed, MJ. It was a home game for Bayport, so it was on the first rank coming in at the Cornerstone, the rank, the what's that college over there?
St. Norbert.
The St. Norbert rank. So there was a nice press box area up there. So we were up there watching that, and boy, it looked like, for all intents and purposes, that Bayport was going to end the unbeaten string of Notre Dame. Carried a 1-0 lead into the third period, of the last minute of the third period. Notre Dame tied it up with 8.3 seconds left. But before that, there was a whole lot of hockey played before that. A lot of the hockey was played in the Bayport end, as Notre Dame defensemen do a really nice job of holding the blue line. Bayport was trying to come up high off the glass, and Notre Dame defensemen were just batting the puck down and keeping it in the zone. Their aggressiveness on the blue line did lead to some chances for the Bayport forwards. They had some breakaways and near breakaways and a lot of odd man rushes, stemming, I think, from Notre Dame's aggressive play on the blue line. But they did not score on any of those. Goaltender Leighton Jaschke held solid for those. The first goal of the game was late in the second period on a power play by Bayport. They were running an umbrella with Sam Lyons on the right side. He got the puck, kind of dropped down into the circle, and looked for all the world like he was going to fire off a shot because he was in nice prime scoring range. But instead, he put a hard pass right to his brother Will in the slot, who just redirected it between Lashke's pads for a 1-0 lead. And that was pretty much it until, like I said, that 8.3 seconds left in the period. A shot from the point by Notre Dame. They got a couple of guys in front. I don't know whether it was screened or tipped or bounced off of something, but it had to go through a lot of people. And one of the people that went by was also the Bayport goalie, Devin Russley. And then Notre Dame just carried that jacked them up and seemed to deflate Bayport, because I think Bayport had one good chance in the overtime, but the rest of the overtime was just dominated by Notre Dame, and it only took them 2.5 minutes. Sam Capel got the puck behind the net, kind of circled around looking for an opportunity, saw something that he liked and fired a shot and ended the game. So where it looked like Bayport was going to upset them, Notre Dame rallied, circled the wagons, as you say, rallied and came up with a 2-0 win to keep their spot atop the Fox River Classic Conference. So they will meet again, probably in the conference tournament. So
They may meet 2 more times. But yeah, this had to sound pretty crazy as it went. As it got closer and closer to the end, I would imagine the intensity really picked up in that game.
It was, and it looked for a while like Notre Dame wasn't going to get a chance to tie it, because he gets down under 2 minutes, and the goalie starts looking towards the bench, for a signal to come off. But Bayport kept dumping the puck down into Notre Dame's end, and Notre Dame was not able to get the goalie off until I think there's only like 40 seconds left in the period by the time they got him off. And then shortly after that, they got a whistle, so they called their timeout with, I don't know, like under 30 seconds left in the game or the period when they got their timeout. And but like I say, they circled the wagons, scored the goal, and they win.
What an amazing game. That sounds like a dandy. Bill, thanks a bunch for that report on that. Was definitely worthy of game of the week. Our Radisson Madison players of the week. The Radisson Madison is the state tournament headquarters of Wisconsin Prep Hockey. No matter where the state tournament's played in Madison. Let's get to the players of the week. And let's go ahead and start with the girls' side, ladies first. And it's Ella Spies of the Warbirds, a defender. Thursday, as a defender, 2 goals and 1 assist in a 5-0 win over Badger Lightning. 2 goals and a 4-2 win over Black River Falls. And a goal and assist in a 2-0 win over Cooley Region Cyclones. Pretty good week for a defender. So Ella Spies, congratulations, a defender for the Warbirds. She's our girls player of the week. And our boys player of the week is Janesville kid, Tyler Stuke of Janesville. In Tuesday's game against Madison West, he had 3 goals and 1 assist and an 8-7 overtime win over the Madison West Regents. Thursday, the Janesville Bluebirds were able to knock off Verona, one of the top-rated teams in the state, with an 8-3 win. And Tyler, he merely had 5 goals in that game. That's all. So Tyler Stuke and Ellie Spies, congratulations. You both are the Radisson Madison players of the week.
Yeah, Tyler did such a nice job. He knocked Verona right out of the top 6.
Yeah. Tyler Stuke's one of those kids that he's going to go on and play at the next level. I've seen him many times, and he's got the capability to go on and play college hockey. It's all up to him at this point, but he's got the tools to play at the next level, no doubt about that. Well, speaking of the top 6, Bill Jr., you've counted everything up, went through the emails, texts, whatever, however we spend it.
If coaches start texting top 6s, I'm going to start complaining. But yeah, Division 1, some changes, some shakeups in the D1 rankings this week. Notre Dame still unanimous number 1. Bayport moves up 3 spots from 5th to 2nd. Chippewa Falls drops from 2nd to 3rd. Eau Claire Memorial is still 4th. University School was not ranked last week. This week they are 5th. And Hudson is still in the 6th spot. As Bergler mentioned earlier, Verona did drop out of the top 6. Division 2, St. Mary's Springs, New Richmond, Amory, and Rhinelander are all unchanged in the top 4. And then Oregon is 5th and Lakeland is 6th. They reversed from last week. For the girls, Superior, Bay Area, Central Wisconsin, and Hayward are all the same as they were last week, 1 through 4. The Madison Metro Lynx jump into the 5th spot, replacing the St. Croix Valley Fusion, and the Cooley Region Cyclones hold on to the 6th spot. This week, 10 boys teams in D1 got votes for the top 6, 10 boys teams in D2 got votes for the top 6, and 12 girls teams got votes for the top 6. 12 teams getting votes and being, considered for the rankings is pretty good when you consider there are only 28 girls teams in the WIAA. So nearly half of the girls teams are getting looked at for top 6 rankings. And in the past, there have been times when you could look at that and be like, well, that ballot is kind of fake, but none of these were that. That 5th and 6th spot could go to a lot of different very worthy teams this year.
Funny, as we talk about the boys D1 rankings there, Bayport moves up 3 spots after losing to Notre Dame, but obviously the voters saw something with Bayport that helped them climb up the rankings a bit.
Well, they've been there for the last several weeks in the rankings. They just, I mean, they had beaten Springs, the number one in D2 earlier in the season. They just needed that. Sometimes voters need to see that kind of showcase game for a team before they really give them that kind of trust. And it wasn't like Bayport like snuck into the second ranking. I'd have to pull it back up again, and I'm not going to do that right now, but I believe that they were unanimous as number two. Whereas Notre Dame is unanimous number one. I believe Bayport was unanimous number two, which is not something you see very often at all. Even in the D1 and either the D2 and the girls rankings, where the top four teams in the rankings didn't change. They weren't like everybody submitting the same ballot. There was still variability in the ballots, but the boys D1, it was Notre Dame Bayport pretty much right down the line.
University School jumps in the mix. I see it's been a while since we've talked about University School, and they're getting some wins. They went up and beat both Eau Claire teams, and the voters saw something there that, decided that, hey, maybe we need to keep an eye on the USM Wildcats.
Yeah, going up to Eau Claire and winning both games was probably an eye opener for most people.
They in both games they played 1-goal games, so that was a worthwhile road trip, I guess you could say, to go up and take on North and Memorial, and see some good hockey, play some good hockey up there against those teams that are up there in the north. Let's see where we at. We got upcoming games of the week. Tuesday, who's going up to Rhinelander and DC Everest?
Nobody.
Nobody?
We're not going to Rhinelander. We're staying home. It's at Everest.
Rhinelander is coming to us.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of was trying to backtrack a little bit when I was started saying that. Friday, Dell's going to see Beaver Dam girls take on Viroqua, and I had a chance to see Viroqua this past weekend play the Rock County Fury, and I came away with the positive impression of Rachel Simonson from Viroqua. Scored all 3 goals in that 3-2 win. 2 power play goals and a shorthanded goal. I don't know. She must not like it when it's 5-a-side, because she don't score when it's 5-a-side. But nonetheless, probably just a coincidence. But Rachel Simonson and Beaver Dam, the Viroqua Blackhawks and Beaver Dam going to get together Friday. Dell's going to go ahead and cover that one, and we'll hear from Dell about that.
Yeah, Rhinelander's sitting there at number 4 on the D2, and we've seen a couple other teams from the Great Northern Conference. We've seen Mosinee and Lakeland. We haven't seen Rhinelander yet, so they're coming down. So we'll get a chance. We'll go over to watch them play DC Everest. A Wisconsin Valley Conference team, a big school and a small school. So we'll see how that goes. And then just for fun, later in the week, there's the Wausau West is hosting a tournament. They will have Notre Dame and Eau Claire Memorial and Middleton coming up, and we'll probably go on Saturday and catch the second round of that tournament.
Probably
Park.
a chance for you guys to get to see Brady Engelkist, the leading scorer in the state, who plays for Middleton.
Brady who?
Engelkist.
Okay.
I don't remember Brady's number, but I do remember Brady. Being since I work with the Janesville Jets, they've tendered him for next season, and he's a quality player, and he's gonna, talking about players that play at the next level, he's gonna do well up there, just like his big brother Justin did. But yeah, that should be a pretty good tournament. Middleton's got some capabilities to beat some teams, And Brady Engelkis is as good as anybody in the state this year. So
Yeah,
There he is.
we covered both
Top
days.
of our skater ranking.
what's that?
He's number 28.
28?
28 in your scorebook, number 1 in your heart.
Yeah, that could be. At least in his parents' heart.
Yeah.
We covered both days of that tournament last year. But Burglar just saw Notre Dame. We saw Wausau West earlier in the year, so we didn't think we needed to cover both days of the tournament this year.
And that rink is cold, and the second game doesn't start till 8:30 at night, and my bedtime's 9. So I recall it was I was there Friday, Bill was there Saturday. It was very late night for me.
Yeah. Eau Claire Memorial, Notre Dame, and who was the other one? Wausau West.
Yeah.
And Middleton.
Yeah,
Okay.
last year it was on Alaska. This year it's Middleton.
Okay. And should be a pretty good tournament. I'm sure we'll talk more about it probably next week. Well, we covered everything we wanted to cover. How about some final thoughts? You guys got anything on your mind?
Well, we got an answer. Well, we got one. I got one via email, and then you said Mason found out the same information. We talked last week about when the last outdoor high school game was played in Wisconsin, and it was the 2021 season, USM and Marquette. They played outside at Cahill Park in late January. A night game under the lights. Apparently they had artificial ice outside that season. Something they did to kind of get away from some of the COVID restrictions. There were COVID restrictions indoors, the 2020 and 21 season. But outside, not so much. So yeah, that was a game played outside at Cahill Park.
As soon as somebody told us that, I remembered it.
Yeah, me
I
too.
watched at least they streamed that. I'm certain of it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure they did.
I saw part of it. I saw at least part of that game. Like as soon as they mentioned it, I'm like, oh, I remember that. But it would happen during the COVID times, so it's been blocked out of my memory.
Oh, no kidding. But yeah, I remember that. And if I remember correctly, Mason told me Ethan Mann had a big game. In fact, I think he scored the game winner. Yeah, he had the OT winner. That has been confirmed by the voice on the other side of the room.
Okay. Yeah, well, thank Mason and Jeff Vronick for sending us that bit of information. He actually included a link to the game score sheet on our site there. And who had the game winner, you said?
Ethan Mann. Last I knew, Ethan Mann was a Badger.
Oh, second overtime. Okay. Yeah, Ethan Mann, there he is.
I had heard he was a Badger recruit a couple of seasons back, but I haven't heard anything more. So not sure if he still is or not, but I'm sure somebody will have the answer to that too. But
He is
one of the,
currently playing junior hockey in Canada, and he is listed as a Badger player for next season on Elite Prospects.
okay. Now, speaking of USM, Robbie Newton played both games this weekend for the Badgers against Notre Dame. So Robbie, due to some guys probably leaving, getting an opportunity to get some playing time with the Badgers, and sounds like he's played pretty well. So, good for him. He's the Journal Sentinel had a nice article about him, and he said it's like playing all over your freshman year of high school. So, nice job by Robbie, and getting an opportunity to play for probably the college team that he rooted for growing up.
I mean,
So guys, I know we have end of the month. I believe it's maybe the end of the month. We have our Hobie Baker Character Awards. Dell usually knows more about this. What coaches are supposed to nominate?
Yes, we have a story. Let me pull it up here.
There it is.
The deadline is February 6th.
Just less than a month now. Yep, the Hobie Baker Character Award. Each each school gets one player.
If they nominate them. Yeah, each team can nominate one player. It's a character award. It is not for goal scoring or any of that fun stuff. It's a very easy, simple couple-minute process to get a player nominated. It's something that looks good as the player tries to move on in their life. If you're a coach that talks about how you're, making people, not just hockey players, you really have no excuse for not nominating somebody if you don't. Wisconsin is typically the best or near the best in the country for getting its players nominated. So we'd like to keep that streak alive.
But we've never hit 100%. Yeah, so
That's unfortunate.
that's always our goal.
It's unfortunate we haven't had 100% because there's a lot of deserving kids out there. It takes 2 seconds to shoot an email to, let everybody know.
It takes a little more than that, but yeah, but not much.
But yeah, Hobie Baker Award stuff. Coaches need to start thinking about that. And February 6th, you say, Junior, was the deadline?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Anything else, guys?
Gonna be a quick one tonight.
Yeah.
Not much to say without Dell here.
There's no Packer game on tonight.
Yeah, or for the foreseeable future.
No more Packers interrupting old man hockey on Sunday nights.
All right, guys. I see the handwriting on the wall. It says this show's about done. So for Bill and Bill, I'm Mike Hammett. Hopefully Dell will be back next week. You've been listening to This Week in Wisconsin Prep Hockey.